Hey, horsey people and gun people. I figured I'd do two videos and one for the horsey people and one for the gun people. I picked up a used 1100 Remington, and this is a shotgun. Most people are familiar with shotguns. It's a 12 gauge. They think they're really big and kick hard and everything. I'm going to shoot some little low brass here. I don't know, what is that, number 8 shot shotgun shell. I've said before, if I could only own one gun for protection, hunting, and everything, a shotgun would be the gun you'd own. If you can pick one of these up, I mean, I think they go 700, maybe new. But if you find a used one that's kind of been neglected a little bit, maybe has a little surface rust, maybe hasn't been cleaned, it's a little stiff, it's got a minor issue, it won't feed or something, you can Moki, what are you doing? Dad's gonna shoot, you better be ready. Cat, come out here. So I picked this thing up used. It looked good. I took it completely apart, did a good detailed cleaning. Moki, what are you doing? She's like, Dad, we're doing that gun. Is that little mouse? There's that dead mouse that he brought me this morning. Has a little treat. So anyway, what I'm going to do is, like I said, I did a good detailed cleaning, took it apart. Anytime I buy a used gun, I do a complete breakdown. I check for wear parts. If I see a place that's a little rough, that looks like it's got two contact pieces that are contacting and it's a little rough, I'll smooth it out a little bit. I'll take a little Flitz or a 1000 grit sandpaper, smooth that down real nice and polish it up to take any roughness out of parts that contact or move against each other. So I took this 1100 apart. It was completely filthy. I was disgusted. It looked fairly decent on the outside. I got a pretty good deal on it, but you know, I had to clean it up a little bit and take some of the light rusting. My rag was pretty dirty and it kind of had that brown bronze rust stuff on it. So because I took it all apart, anytime I take a gun apart and I put it back together, I do a function check, but I also want to go out and actually shoot it. Make sure it feeds properly, make sure it cycles right, make sure it works properly. So I took this thing completely apart, put it back together, everything looked good. So now I'm just going to do a quick little function test or shoot. And I got the horses in the background because I'm always getting questions on, how do you get your horse not scared of gunfire? My horse is scared of gunfire. Well, you just, I mean, people hunt around here and they're always hearing gun, and all my neighbors are gun people, and we're always out here shooting at something, so they're used to it. Thunderstorms, lightning storms, all that stuff helps. But you're going to see these guys, they're not going to react a whole bunch when I fire the shotgun off. I don't think. I mean, maybe they'll be running off behind me, but we'll see. So let me get out here and shoot this shotgun. Look out, little chicken. I'm shooting. So when I say I do a function check on a new gun, what the function check is you cock it. Okay, it's empty. I let the slide forward. I pull the trigger. It went click, so I know it's working. I hold this trigger back, and then I recycle it, and then I want to hear this little click of the trigger reset. That little click tells me that it's resetting properly. Then if I squeeze it again, it should go off. So when I say I do a function check, that's what I do on a function check on a pistol, rifle, whatever. I want to make sure the trigger works. I want to put the safety on, make sure it doesn't fire. I want to cycle it while I hold that trigger back and then hear that trigger reset and then squeeze the trigger again. And that's basically a basic function check. So I'm going to stick 4 rounds in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to fire one round off to make sure that it works and it cycles properly. And again, people are always like, a shotgun's going to knock you down, it's too big, you got to break. Look, if you hold a shotgun like this, you can shoot it pretty easy, because I let my arms be a pendulum and I just let my arms absorb that force. So I'm going to fire a round off over here. There's an empty field over here. And it didn't go click. Why? Because I didn't put a round in the, I didn't think about it till it went click. I didn't chamber a round. Remember, I made sure it was safe. I loaded the chamber, but I didn't put a round in. So when I pull this back, you notice this round pops up. And then when I press this, it's going to chamber that round. Now there's a round in the chamber. Now it'll go bang. Okay, so we're going to shoot out here. I don't know if you can see the horses behind me. Okay, so it fired. Horses are looking at me like, dude, what are you doing? It chambered, it ejected a round, and it should have put another round in there. Now there's 3 rounds in there, so now I want to make sure it works when I do a quick rapid fire. So I'm going to fire 3 shots as quick as I can. Make sure it's ejecting. So that tells me the gun's working properly. Fired, cycled, locked to the rear when it was empty. I could load more rounds. All the shells ejected. I didn't have any jams. So that reassures me that, one, I took it apart correctly, I put it together correctly, it's cleaned up, it's working and operating functionally. You can tell it fires pretty quick. Remington 1100, they're great little guns. You can find a lot of people who wants to get rid of them because they either need money or they're downsizing or they want a newer model. Any semi-automatic shotgun, I kind of like the Remington 1100 if you're going to go semi-automatic, because they just seem to work. They're pretty simple to take down. The only thing you got to remember is clean that O-ring and make sure your barrel with the little holes for the compression, because it's gas. So you want to make sure you have a basic understanding of it when you take it apart. If I get enough requests, I'll tell you what, if I get 3 requests to do a complete breakdown and cleaning to show what I do, I'll make a video on it. Otherwise, there's plenty of videos out there on how to take this thing apart, put it back together. Again, clean it, make sure there's no worn parts, and put it back together, and do some training on your horses at the same time, because when I test fire a gun and they don't react and they keep eating, that's a good thing. Buddy, Mr. T, you're good boys. Like, dude, we're eating. Just go back to playing with your guns. All right, we'll end that there.